Ready in 10 seconds? Okay. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. There are millions of lucky Coloradans who've been vaccinated and protected against COVID. And we really are lucky. We really are fortunate to be Americans, to be Coloradans. There's people in other parts of the world that don't have access, can't get the vaccine, are still dying in very large numbers from COVID-19. Hospitals are full. But here in Colorado, here in America, the vaccine is widely available. And many Coloradans are fortunate and lucky to have gotten it. One Coloradan is extra lucky to be the winner of our very first $1 million drawing, which is randomly selected from all those who have gotten the COVID-19 vaccine here in our state. Before we get to our winner, I want to express my condolences to those who suffered loss and to those who are still in recovery from COVID. It's been a long, cold winter, but spring is here. Over 50% of Coloradans are lucky and have won because they've been vaccinated. And we're back with Red Rocks and dinners at Grandma's house. My parents have our kids even as I speak. Your vaccine really gives you the passport to a safe way to enjoy everything that Colorado has to offer. And you can get your life back, and winning $1 million doesn't hurt either. And today we're announcing the first $1 million winner. There's going to be 4 more, 1 a week. If you want to be included in the next drawing, make sure to get vaccinated by Sunday. If you've been putting it off, if you've been thinking, oh, I'll probably do it someday, get it done because you want to be included in Sunday's next $1 million drawing. As well as for 12 to 17-year-olds, we're going to be giving away 5 $50,000 scholarships next week, a total of 25 $50,000 scholarships over the next 5 weeks. And we really launched Colorado's Comeback Cash program to really get people off the bench and make sure to get it done now rather than later. And today you're going to meet our very first Colorado Comeback Cash winner, Sally Sliger. Sally is a healthcare worker. She lives in Mead, Colorado in Weld County. And she knew that getting vaccinated was the best way to protect herself. And she got her first dose in March, her second dose in April. We are very excited that this $1 million will help her and her husband's retirement plans, supporting their family. And I would like to invite Sally Sliger to the podium, Colorado's first Comeback Cash winner, joined by her husband, Chris. Sally?
Thank you. Thank you, Governor Polis. I am incredibly excited to be here today as Colorado's very first Comeback Cash winner. I am Sally Sliger. I was born here in Colorado, raised in Longmont, and my husband Chris and I have lived in Mead for a little over 20 years. We have raised our sons there. It's a small, wonderful community of a little over 4,600 people. So the odds of me and my family being given $1 million overnight seemed impossibly small. Even with this winning, I'm still having a hard time believing our luck of the draw. I currently am a clinical data analyst with True Community Care in Lafayette, and I've worked in healthcare for years, and we have never seen such pain and devastation that has come along with this pandemic. I have been proud to watch our agency's leadership and my clinical colleagues rise to the challenge of being able to provide quality care to their patients while still keeping the staff and the patients' families safe. Personally, people I love dearly have been deeply impacted by this virus. We've experienced the peaks of hope as we saw people start to receive treatment to get back to being well, but also valleys of despair as too many of our neighbors and our loved ones have lost the battle to this virus. For most, no matter where you are or what you do, this has been the most difficult year of our lives. While we waited patiently but with discontent for our life-saving vaccine to be available, it became harder and harder for us to keep our distance from our loved ones, hoping for the chance one day to be together again. Like all of the rest of us, we have postponed family events. We have canceled events that we've had for decades. We've postponed memorial services. We have had a year of hosting and attending Zoom birthday parties where my loved ones and my friends weren't able to hug their grandchildren and great-grandchildren. So when the wait was over, there was no doubt that I would receive the vaccination. I got my first dose in March and my second dose in April, and I did it to protect my family, my community, and myself from illness. I knew that as my family got vaccinated too, we would go back to living like we once did, and that already felt like a big win to me. Now that I've won the drawing, and I still can't believe I'm saying this, I'm looking forward to investing in our family's future through putting some of the funds in our retirement account and helping our sons, supporting them as they're beginning adulthood and beginning careers and expanding their education. I encourage everyone to get vaccinated because of the freedoms this vaccine has provided for me, my family, and my community. A stable future after the last year that we've had is worth all the money in the world. But of course, it doesn't hurt to take your chance at $1 million as well. I want to thank the governor again, the Colorado Lottery, and the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment for this amazing gift. And I'm hoping that you all too get the vaccine, because this is the gift that we have right now, and it is the gift that keeps giving. Thank you. Thank you. It is Sliger, S-L-I-G-E-R.
You would never believe that that was her first time doing this, right? I mean, that was amazing. You'll be ready next time you win $1 million, Sally. Really, congratulations, Sally and Chris. I think you represent the hopes and aspirations of so many Coloradans, people who made the decision to get vaccinated because it was the right thing to do. And now there are folks out there that just haven't had time yet or putting it off, and to see you and see that there are people that are not just being safe from the virus, but winning $1 million, winning $50,000 scholarships next week, will really help inspire people to just get it done. The people who wanted it early got it early, but there are absolutely procrastinators out there, and I get it because I'm that way with the dentist. I just try to put it off, and sometimes it's a year and a half, and I go. Eventually, I do. But you just got to do it. You just got to make the appointment. It's super easy. You can go to our state centers at Ball Arena, at the Ranch, your local pharmacy, Kaiser, hospital, community health clinic, whatever setting you're comfortable in. You don't even have to get out of your car at some of them, and then you'll automatically be entered in all the future $1 million giveaways. Now for the great reveal of the check. Are we ready? We'll sign it. Well, and as I told Sally, that's not the one they take to the bank, but they can frame that on their wall. So it'll be a little memento of this. Really, just to give an update on where we are, we still have 431 of our fellow Coloradans hospitalized from COVID-19, 767 new cases. It's still prevalent, and again, it's so unnecessary at this point. It's just an extra dimension to the tragedy of those who are hospitalized and those that we will lose ahead. This really took everybody by surprise last year, and there were shortages of PPE, there were shortages of hospital beds. We're through that, but we have a vaccine that works, and there's simply no need for this ongoing pandemic when we have the tools to stop it, and it only takes 15 or 20 minutes of your time. And I encourage everybody to do that. If you're a Coloradan over the age of 18 or up, and you've gotten a Pfizer, Moderna, or Johnson & Johnson vaccine, you're in the running to take home $1 million. The next winner will be announced on June 11th, then June 18th, June 25th, and finally July 7th. If you want to be entered in all of those drawings, make sure that you are vaccinated with at least your first vaccine by this Sunday. For more information, you can go to coloradocombatcash.com or laVacunaDelMillón.com in Spanish. There are so many ways to get vaccinated. We have the mobile vaccination labs. It's in Weld County today. There's one in Gunnison and in Denver. To check where those are at, you can go to mobilevax.us to find a site near you. And really, no matter where you live in our state, you won't have to travel very far. Go to cocovidvaccine.org. Or if you prefer to talk to somebody on the phone, call 877-CO-VAX-CO, 877-268-2926. Plenty of places with walk-ins. You don't need appointments. You can set one up if you want for peace of mind. At the Ranch Complex in Loveland, Ball Arena in Denver, Dick's Sporting Goods in Adams County, no appointments needed, Broadmoor World Arena, your local pharmacy, your local doctor office, your local community health clinic or hospital. You know what? There's a million reasons to get your COVID-19 vaccine today. And everybody who gets vaccinated and protected is a winner. You're a winner every time you get to, as a grandparent, spend time with your grandkids, have large get-togethers indoors. But in addition to that, you're also a winner because you too will have a shot at the comeback cash jackpot. And we look forward to congratulating Colorado's next winner next week to take their place alongside Sally as comeback cash jackpot winners, as well as awarding 5 lucky 12 to 17-year-olds $50,000 scholarships that are usable for any form of higher education. Congratulations to Sally and Chris, and happy to take some questions.
Can you walk us sort of through the drawing process? So was Sally's name the first one drawn, or were there any issues along the way? Things like that.
Yeah, so the Colorado Lottery Commission holds these. That's their expertise. They do it in a way that is audited. They don't draw names, they draw numbers to protect identities. The only number that is translated to a name is the winning number. So they pick a randomly generated number from the roughly 3.9 or 4 million people that have at least received one vaccination dose. That winning number is then translated into a name, and that person is contacted, as Sally was on Wednesday, to be made aware that she was the winner.
Governor, for those who didn't win the $1 million and couldn't find their name on the list, even though they had been vaccinated, will there be any changes for the next drawing, or what do you say to them?
Well, just because you can't find your name doesn't mean that you're not entered in the drawing. And everybody who got vaccinated, if you got a card, it is the legal requirement that the provider that gave you that card enter that information in the SIS. There certainly are people that say they can't find their name, but if they have that card and if their provider fulfilled their legal requirement, they are in there and they will be eligible for the drawing, and their name could come up. You also can certainly inquire with whoever gave you the vaccine if you didn't get a card or you aren't sure whether you're in there or not.
Jacob? First one?
Yeah, so can I ask a question to Ms. Sliger? Just wondering if you might be able to explain to us how you found out about this and what your initial reaction was once you found out.
Well, of course, thank you. It was very surreal, of course. I was at work in a meeting, and I got a text message from an individual at the Colorado Department of Health and Environment, and just requesting me to phone back as soon as I could. I knew the program existed, but I hadn't checked the SIS website. I don't know anything. I didn't look up myself at all. So I did call back right away. I kind of excused myself from my meeting, and she was blunt and indicated that I was a potential winner as long as I met the eligibility criteria, which we went through right away. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was surreal. I still haven't really quite gotten there yet.
Phone?
Hi, congratulations, Sally. It's a very exciting day. I actually have a question for the governor. This is Anusha with 9 News. Looking at the vaccine hesitancy in certain counties that are behind other parts of the state, in particular Mesa County, where they are near 100% capacity for their hospital beds right now. They have variants circulating and a lower vaccine uptake. Is the state going to be working with these individual counties to try to incentivize people? And could Mesa County be facing stricter restrictions now based off of their hospital capacity?
So Mesa County recently announced their own giveaways as well to complement the state giveaways to try to get their vaccination rate up. This is no surprise whatsoever, but what we see across the state is a very strong correlation. The areas that have lower vaccination rates have much higher COVID rates, and the areas with the highest vaccination rates have very low COVID rates. So it's a direct correlation everywhere in the state. Unfortunately, in Mesa County, and then to a lesser extent El Paso and Pueblo County, we have a lower vaccination rate, higher COVID rate. So I applaud Mesa County for including additional local giveaways. We also see the power of these high vaccination numbers, because you look at some of the areas of our state with the highest vaccination numbers, there's hardly any COVID right now. They are either at or very close to that herd immunity level where COVID simply doesn't circulate because you have 70% or more of the population vaccinated. So we hope that this cash giveaway today, complemented by the local giveaway work of Mesa County, also complemented by the many private partners that are, for instance, Safeway Albertsons is giving 10% off to everybody who gets vaccinated on the day they get vaccinated. There's many other partners. Southwest Airlines gave 5,000 rapid reward miles to people who got vaccinated. Many other opportunities to make sure that it's worth not just your life, apparently that's not enough for some people, but also your time and your money to get vaccinated.
Hello, Governor. Jesús Carrasquel from Noticias Univisión Colorado. Gobernador, en español, ¿puede decirnos, pues cada día son menos las personas que quieren vacunarse en el estado? ¿Cree usted que la lotería de $1 millón, becas y otros premios sean suficientes para motivar a las personas a que se vacunen?
Esta es una idea que están adoptando varios otros estados también, y creemos que es una estrategia eficaz que una campaña publicitaria. La oportunidad para ganar $1 millón puede hacer más personas quien quieren la vacuna. Esperamos que además de tener la oportunidad de ganar $1 millón o 50,000 para los niños, los residentes de Colorado, se sientan muy motivados a vacunarse para protegerse a sus mismos, primero, a sus seres queridos, por supuesto, y a los miembros de su comunidad.
Hi, Governor. Taylor Summers for NBC News Radio in Colorado. The New York Times just recently reported that Colorado was among states that will barely just make it to President Biden's goal of having 70% of the population with at least one dose before July 4th. I was curious of what other things could Colorado have in the works to potentially try to maybe push that along further, and certainly we have other counties that are behind that goal of getting there before July 4th.
Yeah, we have areas of the state that are leading, areas that are behind. I'm proud that Colorado is a regional leader in the Rocky Mountain West, Colorado, New Mexico, by quite a large margin of the highest vaccination rates. We've been in the top tier of states nationally, usually the top 10, 15, 20 states nationally through most of this, and continue to be. And I do hope that we're able to achieve that goal. In addition to the $1 million giveaways, and to be entered in the rest of them, you need to get vaccinated by Sunday. We're also partnering with many local businesses for giveaways at particular sites. And even more importantly, we've made it very convenient to get the vaccine here in Colorado. You don't need appointments. You can show up. You can drive through. Some people like to not get out of their car. Some like to go to doctor's offices. Some like it to get it at their local Safeway when they're going shopping. All of those are widely available. However you choose to get it, our message is don't put it off. Get it now. Let's help end this pandemic.
Sally, you briefly mentioned kind of a relationship with COVID. Would you mind talking about friends, family that you've been around that have experienced COVID-19, and if I can ask if you had it yourself?
I think she's just going to talk in a general way rather than identify particular family members, if that's okay, Marshall.
But yes, we have had family members who have had it, serious illnesses and very mild illnesses. I have not, I don't think. We have had dear friends who have had family members who have passed away. And again, like I said in my remarks, they had to delay the memorial service for a friend of ours' father who passed away. And just a tragic experience for everyone.
For the governor, You may have touched on this a bit in Spanish, but in English, if you would. Has this lottery produced the results you were hoping for?
Yeah, we always look at how we get the best return on the money that the federal government gave us for marketing and promotion. I am 100% confident that investing it this way would have been more effective than just another few $1 million of advertisements on television. We are also doing advertisements. We are also doing outreach. But the earned media, and I think that now that there's a public face to our very first winner, showing that really anybody can win, will help drive Coloradans, and is helping drive Coloradans who have been putting it off to simply get it done, to protect themselves first and foremost, but it gives you a reason to get it done now instead of in the blurry future to have a chance at winning $1 million, or in the case of 12 to 17-year-olds, $50,000 scholarships.
Whose pocket does it come out of?
Well, it comes out of the marketing and promotion vaccine money that the federal government gave us. So this is, in many ways, the same pot of money we use for the mobile vaccination stations, the advertising campaign, the outreach. This is part of the funding for successful vaccine implementation in our state.
And Sloan.
Last question. So you mentioned in your first press conference about this that if you've been vaccinated, you are already eligible to win this $1 million. We've done some reporting and found that some people couldn't find their names in the CIIS system. Are you still standing by that? If you get vaccinated, you are eligible for this. And is there anything that people need to do now that we're here and asking these questions? Is there anything that people need to do to make sure that they're in that system?
You don't have to do anything. If you got vaccinated, you're eligible. And I know that people who are super aggressive and want to make sure they're eligible, like double and triple checking, but just because they can't find themselves doesn't mean they're not eligible. I'm sure that some error was made somewhere by somebody and someone isn't eligible who should be. That being said, it is a legal requirement that every vaccine provider that gave a vaccine gave you a card, so you should have a card, and that information from that card is then reported to the confidential CDPHE database, and that is not shared with the Lottery Commission. They pick from random numbers that correspond to that, and only the one winner is identified then by name. So if you got vaccinated, unless your vaccine provider didn't follow the law, then you should be in there, and I have a great degree of confidence in our vaccine providers that they did so.
And today's last question goes to Gabrielle.
Sally, what's the first thing you plan to do with your earnings?
We don't know yet. This is the first time this has ever happened. It's a little overwhelming. We plan to have a lot of conversations with our family, of course, and I think there's things around the house we want to do, of course, and some student loans we need to pay off and to help our sons. So I don't know. I'm sorry.
You don't have to decide today, Sally.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations, Sally and Chris. I'll try to sign that better. That pen didn't work.